What is up, everybody? Today we are taking a look at the Citadel Mouldline Remover from Games Workshop. Now this is a tool specifically designed for removing mold lines and nubs from the gate where you cut it off the sprue on miniatures and models. So without further ado, I'll see you after the bump and we'll crack open the box. So the packaging on this one is fairly basic. You have a nice picture of the tool. It's a fairly small box, basic information, but that's not really what we're here for. We are here for what is in the box. Let's get this up. And inside the box we will find it neatly packaged. It looks real nice in typical Citadel / Games Workshop fashion. This tool looks super nice. So the tool itself is a full metal construction. This is the kind of tool where you buy it once, you will have it for a while. The blade end, the business end of this is, it's sharp, but it's not so sharp that you'll cut yourself, which is one of the main reasons why I decided to pick up this tool. I've been using my X-Acto knives for a while, removing mold lines, and while that does get the job done, it's risky business, and I'm just at the point now where I'm tired of the blade slipping, gouging too much into the plastic, and inevitably ending up in a bloody mess. So, here we are, the Citadel Mouldline Removal Tool. I guess another plus side of this is that you won't dull your X-Acto blades as much. Now this one, I think it's hardened steel, I think it's spring steel or something like that. It does not have a lot of bend to it, which is nice, even though it is pretty thin, but when you do bend it, it just snaps right into place. And yeah, let's take a look at a practical usage example of this, shall we? So here we have a mini from the Games Workshop Lord of the Rings The Two Towers game. More specifically, it's an unpainted, unfinished Uruk-hai warrior. And while these are some really nice minis, they leave a lot to be desired in the terms of flashing and mold lines, which makes it perfect for this video. So as you can see here, we have a fairly large one running down the edge here, and we have a fairly large one on the inside of the leg here. Going down the face, we'll see a fairly big mold line, and we're going to try and get rid of those today. Now before I dive into this, let me give you a short introduction on how to actually use this tool, because there is a slight technique with it, and we'll just go ahead and do it on the underside of here because it really doesn't matter. Now make sure when you use this tool that you're dragging it at a 45-degree angle and letting it ride on top of the plastic. Don't go and push it towards you like this, but you want to angle the blade 45 degrees away from you or away from whatever direction you're dragging it, and just go ahead and scrape it. Now don't push too hard, just let it ride and do its job. And eventually you'll see that the little nubs underneath here will smoothen out. Now, this is in no way a replacement for a sandpaper, but if you're painting an entire army, this will get the job done super quick. So let's have a look at some of these mold lines. Right here, we have a really nasty one, and we're just going to go ahead and, with the techniques showed earlier, we're just going to go in and we're going to slowly start working it. And I'm barely putting any pressure on right now. Now this tool has a flat and a curved side. Right now I'm using the flat side, which gives me just a really small point of contact where I want to remove the mold lines. And in more curved areas, it could be wise to switch to a more curved one for a more natural and less hard look. And that is exactly what I just did. And we'll keep working this for a little bit, and eventually you'll see that the mold line is as if it was never there in the first place. Alright, and that takes care of the mold lines on this model. Now, as a bonus tip, what I usually do at this stage is that I come in with some Tamiya extra thin cement. Now this is the quick setting type, and it's not the most expensive. It's $4.80 at my local shop. And what we're gonna do with this is just carefully just brush a little bit into the areas where we went over. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this back on its base for now, and so it's a little easier to hold. And we're just gonna add a little bit. Now do this very sparingly. There's some parts like this one here, which is still a little bit attached, but you go in and you just brush a little bit of this in here. It'll polish the part right up, and it'll hide any evidence of ever having been scraped or worked on. Just make sure that when you do this, don't touch the surface for a while, because this does melt the plastic, and that is exactly why we're using it. Kinda consider it a slight polish stage where it'll just melt whatever thin little areas are left and little imperfections. But do be careful when you do this. Like I said, it is very easy to overdo it, and it is very easy to melt tiny details. And there we go. Our Uruk-hai warrior is ready for his war paint and the tabletop.